Imagine you have a superpower that makes you immune to insults, criticism, and even other people's bad moods. Sounds like something straight out of a comic book, doesn't it? But this isn't fiction. This is inner independence, a cornerstone of ancient philosophy, more relevant today than ever. In this video, we'll explore how to build this unshakable inner fortress. And you might be surprised to learn that you already possess the most important tools. The idea of inner independence was perfected by the ancient Stoics. Think of figures like the philosopher-emperor Marcus Aurelius, or the former slave Epictetus, who became one of the greatest teachers of his time. They lived in a world full of chaos, wars, and uncertainty. Sound familiar? And they grasped a simple yet profound truth. We cannot control the events around us. We cannot control the weather, the economy, or what another person thinks of us. But we have absolute control over our reaction to these events. That's where the true power lies. So let's start by dispelling a common myth. When you hear the phrase inner independence, you might picture a cold, emotionless person. Someone like a robot, untouched by anything. But this is a very dangerous misconception. Trying to suppress or ignore your feelings is a direct path to burnout and stress. Emotions are energy. If you bottle them up, they'll start to destroy you from the inside. Stoic philosophy teaches something entirely different. It's not about ceasing to feel, but about no longer being a slave to your feelings. That's the crucial distinction. Imagine an emotion as a wild horse. You could, of course, try to ignore it until it carries you over a cliff. Or you could learn to be the rider. Acknowledge its power, but steer it where you need it to go. Apathy and indifference mean you simply lack the energy to even approach that horse. It's a state of exhaustion. But inner independence is when you confidently hold the reins. You feel anger, but you don't let it dictate your actions. You feel resentment, but you choose not to suffer from it for hours. So, our goal isn't suppression, but management. It's not about becoming emotionless, but about becoming the master of your inner world. So what's the core idea then? It's the concept the Stoics called the inner citadel. It's a beautiful and powerful metaphor. Imagine your mind as an impenetrable fortress, with thick walls and towering turrets. Outside, there's the entire rest of the world. Storms may rage, wars may unfold. Someone might hurl insults at you, or try to throw mud at your walls. But they can only get inside and wreak havoc in one single scenario. If you open the gates yourself. Every time you react painfully to criticism, you fling open the gates. When you replay an offensive remark in your head for hours, you're not just opening the gates, you're giving the enemy a guided tour of your citadel. Social media is a perfect example. A single negative comment on your photo can ruin your entire day. Why? Because we ourselves invite that anonymous commenter into our fortress, place them on a throne, and hang on their every word. The Stoics, however, urge us to realize external events are inherently neutral. An insult is just a collection of sounds or letters. It's our judgment of that event. That's terrible. How could he? That's unfair. That transforms it into poison. And only we decide whether to ingest that poison or not. But how do you actually build this inner fortress? How do you learn not to open the gates when they're pushed so hard? This is precisely where philosophy stops being abstract and transforms into a set of concrete tools. These aren't just beautiful words to contemplate, but genuine mental exercises you can, and should, practice every single day. Let's explore one of the most potent of these tools. The Stoics called it the view from above, or the cosmic perspective. Imagine you're facing a problem that feels absolutely immense. For example, you're locked in a serious conflict at work. Your emotions are through the roof, resentment, anger, perhaps even the fear of losing your job. Now here's what you do. Mentally step out of your body and rise above the situation. First, float up to the ceiling. You see yourself, your opponent. It doesn't look quite as daunting now, does it? Just two people arguing about something. Now ascend even higher, to a bird's eye view. You see your office building, your home, your entire city. The conflict shrinks even further. And now, out into space, you see the entire planet Earth, a tiny, fragile blue marble floating in the vastness of space. Somewhere on that minuscule sphere, there's a tiny dot, your city, and two microscopic specks, you and your boss. How does your enormous conflict feel now? This exercise isn't meant to invalidate your feelings. It simply places the problem in its proper perspective. It instantly diminishes its emotional weight and allows you to view it not as a participant in a drama, but as a calm, objective observer. And from that state, you can make well-reasoned decisions. And this brings us to the most crucial and perhaps most surprising realization. Many people mistakenly believe the goal is to achieve some ideal, impenetrable state of Zen, to become a Stoic sage on a mountaintop, completely unfazed by anything. But that's a trap. True strength and genuine inner independence aren't born the moment nothing bothers you anymore. They emerge the instant you notice something has affected you and you tell yourself, hold on, I don't have to be controlled by this emotion. I can choose a different reaction. This is the real aha moment. Freedom isn't the absence of external pressure or triggers. It's that tiny pause between an event and your reaction to it. And the powerful realization is that you are in control of that pause. In our world of constant notifications, likes, and social comparison, this simple awareness is the ultimate superpower. So, inner independence isn't about being cold or indifferent. It's a daily practice of managing your own attention and responses. It's a skill you absolutely can and should cultivate. Thank you for sticking with this video until the very end. If you found it insightful or helpful, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel. Your support genuinely helps us create more content. Now, a question for you. What external factor or whose opinion most frequently challenges your inner peace? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's have a discussion.